What's up, y'all? You are listening to your Mental Matters podcast. I'm your girl, Mo Lou. And for those of you watching, thank you for tuning in. Yeah. Uh, this evening, we have a very special guest with us.
Oh, you're so kind.
And in a few, he's going to introduce himself because I don't want to, butcher anything. But yeah, I'm excited to get into this. I appreciate you for coming.
Thank you
And
for having me. Thank you for sharing your platform.
of course.
Thank you for being on this couch with me too.
Of course. Thank you. And so, I mean, without further ado, Mac, welcome to the
Hi.
podcast.
Hello.
And yeah, let's get into it, Mac. Who are you? Who are you?
Oh,
Introduce yourself to the people.
okay. Such a philosophical question. Who am I? Excellent question. In terms of introduction, hi everyone. My name is Mac. I am a licensed mental health counselor with a specialization in couples therapy. I am the owner of Therapies for Everyone private practice located in Brooklyn, New York, and our goal is to rid the world of mediocre love and remove the stigma that is associated with therapy in the Black community. My ultimate goal in life is to help the Black community and communities of color learn the skill sets, the mindset, the techniques needed to obtain, sustain, and enhance all aspects of love.
Fire.
That's what we are here to discuss today.
That's it.
Yeah.
That was solid. That was a solid intro.
Thank you.
And so, yeah, I mean, I guess with that intro, what motivated you, I guess, or what inspired you to go that route as far as therapy?
So for me, my story is a little bit different. At the time in college, I met my current wife. We've been together going on 10 years now. And when we started, I was horrible. I did not have the skills. I didn't have the knowledge. I didn't have the concept. I just didn't know how to really build and function in a healthy relationship.
Okay.
So I saw ourselves just getting into pointless fights, arguing over and over and over again, breaking up so often that I'm like, okay, something needs to change and it needs to start with me, right?
Yeah.
So I went around to all of my friends, married, single, men, women, whoever. Hey, give me the knowledge.
Yeah.
And they didn't have it. They spoke of their experience. Hey, I did this, so you should do that. That may have worked for you, but that doesn't mean that it's going to work with me. And what's the rationale behind that?
Right.
I'm very inquisitive, right? And I have an addictive personality. So once I lock into something, I want to know everything about it.
Right.
So during grad school, I took a course on family and couples,
Okay.
an elective, just because I needed an elective. And I was introduced to the Gottman approach. And I saw the research. And I saw how simple things were.
Yeah.
This is how you communicate. This is how you address a conflict. This is how you build friendship.
Right.
I was like, oh my God, this is what I've been looking for my whole life.
Right.
That night, I read the book from front to end.
Wow.
I drove 2 hours away to my wife, got her outside in the car, and we literally practiced communication skills right then and there.
Wow.
And since then, we've never had a conflict. We've had uncomfortable conversations, but we never engaged in a conflict.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I definitely know the Gottman approach. I'm familiar.
Level 3 trained, soon to be the first Black male therapist on the East Coast to be Gottman certified.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong, but I'm gonna run with it.
I was about to snap
till
for that.
Someone challenges it.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I think for one, just hearing the like, I guess, eagerness and the like desire that you had to like tap in and figure out how you can fix things for the better is inspiring because a lot of people, they kind of just give up or be like, you know what? I don't got time.
I was there.
Yeah.
I've experienced all of that. I was just tired of having failed relationships by me, by others around me, by my friends. I'm like, yo, I need the knowledge. I need the skills. I need to know how to do this better. Plus, there's no way I was going to lose her whatsoever. There was no way. I don't care what I had to do.
I'm here for it. I'm here for
It
it.
took 4 years
Aw.
of research and knowledge and practice and being in therapy and becoming a therapist myself, where now we have an amazing, beautiful relationship. And I'm thankful for it, because without her, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Beautiful. Okay. So yeah, I guess we could go into the next question because I feel like you pretty much answered like 2, 3 questions that I had in that one. But currently, how is your mental health?
Currently, how is my mental health? You know what? I haven't been asked that in a very long time.
I incorporate this in every episode. I always do a check-in.
Yeah.
And so I know you might be on the spot with it, but yeah.
Yeah, because as therapists, we're usually doing the check-in, right?
Yep.
Check-ins is not being done with us. I would say mentally, I am doing well.
Okay.
I am excited of what's next for me, what's next for my family. We are achieving some amazing goals as a family. Me as a therapist with access to social media, I'm getting a lot of opportunities. And I've made some amazing friends that are in some amazing places. So I am really excited of what 2022 is going to offer me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm positive it's going to be an amazing year.
I'm happy to hear that. That's great. Okay. And so why couples therapy? I feel like you kind of answered that in
Yeah.
with talking about Gottman.
Yeah.
And so yeah, let's get into the questions for real. Let's get into the nitty gritty because
Okay.
I know this is what everybody wants to know. People want to get the tea from like somebody who's actually certified, right? Like they want the questions answered. So what makes a relationship work?
Wow. It's a great question. And when I get these questions, like there's so many things that goes through my mind, right?
Yeah.
And you just want to say, I have so much to offer and give you all of these answers. But at the same way, like you want to offer it in a condensed way.
Right.
I would say what you should be looking for is commitment and discipline. Are you committed to making the relationship work? Are you disciplined enough once you learn the skills to put them into practice
Right.
so you can master them? Right. So if you have those two things, three things, trust, commitment, and discipline, I feel that you can make any relationship work. Because whatever it is that you need to gain to make it work, you will go find it because you are committed to it.
Right.
And once you get it, you're disciplined enough to put it into practice. And having that trust means even if I do something wrong or we're not seeing eye to eye, I still know that you are here with me. You are committed, you are disciplined, and I have the trust that no matter what happens, we are going to stay together and find a way to make this work. So I would say to me, those are the three primary things. But if we go to the secondary things, we could talk about communication skills, conflict management, just all of these other things that would take a very long time to talk about because they're very big and meaningful. But prior to all of that, you need those three things first.
Yep. Absolutely.
You agree?
I agree. I'm like literally as you started listening, I started getting overwhelmed because I'm like, there's so much.
Right?
I'm like, let
It's
me.
hard to answer these questions
Yeah.
without offering a checklist.
Yeah.
But again, like as long as we walk away with this idea that commitment, discipline, and trust is needed,
Yeah.
everything else becomes easier after that.
Yes.
Right? You can know how to communicate, how to foster funness, how to have fun, how to be intimate, how to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
But if you're not committed, if I don't trust you, if you're not disciplined, none of these things matter.
Yeah. That's very true. I know for me, trust is big. Like if I don't trust you, I don't even want to go out to eat with you.
Exactly.
So like it's hard.
Exactly.
It's really hard. So I feel like those three sound solid to me.
Yeah.
For sure.
So if you were expecting to hear something deep, this is it.
That's it in a nutshell. Okay. And what makes a relationship not work? On the contrary, on the other end. It might be just as simple, but
Well, I would say skills. A relationship is not going to work if you don't know. Well, let me take a few steps back, right? If I give you a car and you don't know how to drive,
right.
there's no purpose of giving you a car.
Yeah.
You need the skill sets needed for you to drive that car with the knowledge, right?
Yep.
It's the same thing with a relationship. If you don't have the skills, and by skills, I mean, do you know how to communicate? Do you know how to be emotionally vulnerable? Are you emotionally intelligent?
Right.
Can you create a safe space? Do you know how to deepen the friendship? Do you know how to reconnect after we have a fight? Do you know how to be passionate? Do you know how to increase romance? Do you know how to deal with family members? When I share things with you, do you know how to listen?
Yeah.
Can you create that space for me where we can connect on all intimate levels, physically, emotionally, spiritually, even with your soul?
Right.
Right? If you can't do any of these things,
You better go ahead and talk about the
there
spirit.
is no need for it.
You better go ahead and talk about it.
A lot of us are in empty relationships because we're empty within ourselves. Right? We have all of these surface levels things checked, right? What do you bring to the table? I have a car, I have a house, I got this, I got good credit, and etc. Oh my God, you're amazing.
Right.
But I'm explaining to you why I'm depressed, and you don't even know how to help me cope. You don't even offer,
Right.
hey, how can I be present for you? How can I love you better? How can I support you? Right? Instead, you're saying, well, that's a lot to deal with. What am I getting myself into?
That's fire.
Right?
That's true.
So without this knowledge or this ideology, it doesn't matter if you find the right person or not.
Right.
Relationship is just not going to work out.
That was solid. That was solid. I feel like most people in there, I'm not going to say, I don't like to make these generalizations, but this is just from my view. I feel like millennials, young people, and the crazy part is I don't even necessarily know if like my parents and stuff necessarily had the skills, but for some reason, I feel like when you look back, the relationships lasted longer and they were actually and people, stuck around. What do you think
Keyword, stuck
stuck
around.
around, right? They
Yeah.
stayed. They stayed for the long haul. So they were committed. They were committed, right?
Due to three things. One, fate.
Okay.
Depending on your religion and what religion you subscribe to,
Yeah.
divorce is not an option.
Okay.
So no matter what happens within our home or within the relationship, I must remain in here. We can sleep in different bedrooms. We can have no intimacy. We don't even have to talk to each other. But due to our religious belief and attachments, we cannot separate.
Got you.
Number two is culture, right? Because you're speaking of your parents and your grandparents.
Right.
Depending on the culture, divorce is frowned upon, or they don't have the funds to get divorced, or the finances wouldn't work if divorce took place,
Yep.
right? And usually, if you go back to our grandparents, the males,
Yep.
they are the one that were the breadwinners,
Yeah.
while the woman was dependent on them.
Yeah.
Right. So they can have other relationships. They can have children outside of the relationship. But as long as they come home and they provide, everything was kept solo because your community is saying you better stay with that man because it's taking care of you. Right. And you don't want to say that you've lost them to another woman or etc.
Of
So a
course.
lot of unethical things became acceptable due to the culture. Third is mental illness. I can be too depressed, and therefore I see my depression as a burden for anyone else, right? You already know how to deal with me. You sleep on this side, I sleep on this side. Our dog isn't between us. That serves as the separation
Right.
that we're not acknowledging. But we both know we no longer want to be in this relationship.
Right.
But due to my mental illness, at this time period, I have told myself that I can get no one else. No one else wants to be with me. I have my own demons to work through. I have my own issues to work through, and no one else would want to be there for me. My libido has dropped. It's non-existent. Who is willing to deal with that? Right? So these are the things that you're saying to yourself.
Right.
And fourth is self-esteem. A relationship
Everyone.
can rid you of everything that you thought was amazing about you, right? You've been oppressed on so many levels that you can even look yourself in the mirror and be proud of who you are. So therefore, you also have this belief that nobody else wants you. Who want to deal with this? I'm not attractive. I'm
Interesting.
not hot. I'm not sexy. No woman wants me, right? So I'm going to deal with this relationship and stay present, even though it's not conducive to my mental health, to my mental well-being, or to my happiness. Right. So a lot of times, like we look at relationships, but fail to understand the dynamics that are created that allows the relationship to continue.
Right.
We say till death do us after part, till death do us part. What we need to start saying is that it's till death do us part mentally and emotionally, not just physically. A lot of us are dead in our relationship,
Right.
but we're still alive. Our physical being is still present. So at times we also need to transition out of these unhealthy relationships.
You just spoke.
That's what I do.
I'm like, ooh,
You know, like when I do podcasts,
yeah.
I understand that we need to try to make things to sound sexy, or
Heard
we
you.
need something controversial, etc. But the truth is, like, I am not here to provide the tea.
Yeah.
I'm here to provide the medicine.
Mm.
Because eventually you want the medicine because you want to start changing, you want to feel better, you want to start the healing process.
Yeah.
And that can't be done if I'm telling you the things that you already know. If I'm just validating your experiences and your emotions.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the answers that you're looking for. Now it's up to you to put them into practice. Just like couples therapy. I can teach you
Yeah.
how to communicate, but outside of the therapy room, it is your decision and up to you to put this knowledge into practice.
Absolutely. Y'all hear that, listeners and people who watching?
We out here.
Yeah, because these are harsh truths, I feel like, for people. Because I feel like today, a lot of people have accepted things that are unhealthy, toxic. Like, as you can see on social media, toxicity and unhealthy relationships. I know, not to put him out there, but Justin LeBoy's page every day
Respectfully.
where he posts something, I be in tears laughing. But I'm like,
But it works.
the reason why he has this information is because these are things people actually like think and believe.
Correct.
So I think these are harsh truths. Like hearing from a couples therapist, and this could be too why there's sometimes hesitancy and reluctance because people are not necessarily ready to change
Correct.
their ways. So I think it's just a reiteration of why I wanted you here because like we only want solid truths.
Yes. And the tide is changing. People are moving away from the toxic world or aspect,
Yeah.
and are starting to seek the answers and the healing aspect.
Yep.
Like I've never been busier in life. Like the amount of emails that I get in DMs,
Yeah.
requests for consultation and therapy, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm booked till like
Booked
next
and
year.
busy. Okay. Black male therapist. All right.
There's not a lot of us.
Yeah. I feel like there's a small ratio of you guys. So that's why you're kind of like
Yeah.
a blessing.
And we all know each other, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Like that, the camaraderie that exists within the Black therapists that I know.
Yeah.
Dope.
Amazing. All right. So we're going to keep moving on. So what are some relationship red flags? As we touched on real quick, toxicity. What are some red flags? How does a woman know, miss, you need to get out of there? How does a man know this is not it?
Great question.
Thank you.
So many things I want to list, but I'm gonna give you the ultimate red flag,
Okay.
the number one red flag that you should look for
I'm ready.
in all aspect of relationship, friendships, and everything. Well, give you two.
Okay.
The first one is emotional intelligence.
Ooh.
If you are dating someone that is not emotionally intelligent, you're basically dating someone who will never be able to love you the way that you need them to love you.
Ooh.
Will never create a space for you where you feel comfortable expressing how you feel. Will never take accountability for their behaviors and for how they affect you. Instead, they will tell you it's your fault. They would say you create chaos around them, right?
Wow.
This individual will consistently trigger all of your wounds instead of being part of your healing process. You might find your depression being worse than it's ever been. Your anxiety on overdrive every time you talk to this individual. Not because they're not a great person, right?
Yeah.
A great guy or a great woman is a prerequisite, not the difference maker. Too often I hear, "Oh my God, he's a great guy," or he or she's an amazing woman. There should be.
Right.
There should be.
Yeah.
That's level one.
Yeah.
If they're bad or horrible, you shouldn't even be talking to them.
Right.
So a great guy or great woman, that's the prerequisite, not
Yeah.
the difference maker. The difference maker is their ability to love you accordingly, their ability to give you a safe space, their ability to understand what you're going through and what your love style is and what your archetype is, and being willing to work with that and meet you halfway versus saying, oh, you got to deal with that on your own and I'm not changing who I am.
Ooh.
Stop dating potential. Stop dating potential. Now, number two. Number two is when we're going to move away from the person you are dating and we're going to talk about you. That's
Okay.
choosing who to date.
Okay.
Are you into boxing?
Me?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
Wolf? Okay. What does the referee says to every boxer in every boxing match?
Let's get ready to rumble.
Protect yourself.
Oh, okay.
Protect yourself.
Learning.
Right? So if you're dating someone and you just see yourself getting beat emotionally, physically, spiritually, in all aspects, and you are so beat up that you can't even protect yourself, that means it's time to walk away. There is no referee to step in to the match
Wow.
when you are beat up, when you can't even lift your hands no more, right? A referee will stop a boxing match or a wrestling match when they feel that this person can no longer defend themselves. So if you are dating someone and you can't even protect yourself, it's time to walk away. That's a red flag for you.
I love that. But okay, let's elaborate real quick on the beat up part, right? Because I don't.
Not physically.
Right.
I'm not, well, domestic violence included.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if someone is always triggering you, activating your mental health,
Right.
is making you walk on eggshells, question yourself, lower your self-esteem, feeling like you can't be authentically you, and you can't even say how you feel, where everything is your fault,
Yeah.
where you just shrink and minimize everything about you so you can function in this relationship. You're a shell of yourself, right? They're beating you in all aspects of your being.
Yep.
You don't even recognize yourself no more. And you can't even put your hands up to advocate for you,
Right.
to even express what's going on with you. That's a red flag
Yeah.
for you
I
to
agree.
recognize that you should not be here,
I agree.
right? We tend to mirror the relationships that we always desired within our childhood. So a lot of times, right, when we didn't get certain things, we will seek it in adult-based relationships, not realizing that we are reliving our traumatic experience with our parents. If I never got the attention of my father or my mom, I'm gonna go out there seeking that.
Okay.
And a lot of times I'm not going to get that because I'm allowing the relationship to become my identity. Once I'm attached to you, I want you to fulfill every aspect of my life. I lose myself within you. So when you withhold your love, when you withhold your affection, when you're unhappy with me,
Yeah.
I crumble.
He's speaking, y'all.
Bars.
Are y'all listening? Because what? He's speaking. You better go ahead. You better go ahead, Mac. That's fire. And
It's true.
I'm literally, as you were talking, I was like thinking about like just different scenarios and different things I've, heard. And
We need to stop dating potential, right? Well, if we take it a little step further, right, let's get really into our therapeutic bag.
yeah.
When I'm a new father,
Yeah.
right? My daughter's 19 months old. I see the good in her. I see her potential. I can love her to her potential
Yeah.
and only focus on that because my love for her is not conditional.
Okay.
I'm her parent. I'm her father.
Yeah.
The day I held her in my hands, I fell for her, right? So I'm not expecting, like her job is not to meet my needs. My job is to meet her needs.
Yeah.
But when we are in a romantic relationship, that's transactional. That's conditional. So when we're loving the good side of someone or their potential, and we just focus on that, and we don't update our understanding based on their behaviors, saying no, they are an amazing person. They have the potential to eventually understand me.
Yeah.
They have the potential to eventually do the work.
Right.
This allow the space for us to create a toxic relationship, because we're not focused on the reality of who this person is currently. We're seeing who they could eventually be,
Yeah.
but there's no guarantee that they would ever meet those expectations, right?
Yeah.
Because again, it's conditional.
Right.
If I'm loving my partner, that means I'm meeting their needs, and they should also be meeting my needs. So when we're loving them like family, like me and my daughter, then we're just focused on the potential. Yes, one day, 2 years from now, they will be able to talk about their emotions and finally meet those demands of mine. Versus, no, it's been a year. You shown me all of these red flags.
Right.
But here I still am aiming for this potential of you. It's time to walk away. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to deal with the reality that currently stands in front of you. It's time to remove the mask
Yep.
that you are seeing, remove the blinders that you're currently experiencing, so you can see the truth
Yeah.
of who you are dating. That's why divorce rate is a lot higher from people that get married in the I'm in love with you phase, the 2 to 3 year phase. Because the blinders are on.
Yo, we got into the marriage bag real quick.
The blinders are
Hold on. We gonna get there? Woo. Wow. Okay. All right.
I'm getting comfortable now. Let's
Yeah,
go.
he's comfortable. We didn't even have none of this. We didn't have no drinks yet either.
Should we pop some?
Should we? Can we?
Can we get 2 cups or 3 cups for you too, my guy?
Thank you.
Poppy wine. Best champagne in the world.
Yes.
They signed the check.
Word? For real?
We'll talk.
We'll talk.
Talk.
All right.
This is sponsored by Poppy Wines.
Ew. Go ahead now. Shameless plug. I'm here.
We'll wait for my guy. Go ahead.
Yes.
Let's keep talking.
All right. So we're gonna keep going.
Yes.
While
this
Mac
is two therapists, 2 black therapists,
Yes.
having a conversation on healthy relationships.
Yes.
That is not done easily.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
This is a treat.
This is fabulous.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, for those of you guys probably know because I've talked about it in previous episodes. I'm a substance abuse counselor.
Really?
Yes, I work with the substance abuse population.
I did that for 6 months and I said never again.
I'm new though. I'm a newbie.
Okay.
I'm a newbie in it. So, though me and Mac are in 2 different, niches, a lot of the things that he is talking about, I'm aware of. He's giving us the in-depth conversation about therapy regarding couples and relationships. And I can appreciate this so much because obviously I'm single. Y'all know I'm single. All my listeners who been down for the cause since day one, y'all know I'm single and I've been single for a while, but
Not for long.
Listen.
Fellas or ladies, I'm not sure what you are into. You can send me a DM and I will tell you the best pickup lines. And
Right,
the
I'm gonna
best restaurants to take her to.
Listen, I'm gonna write all of this down for you before you leave so that, listen, okay?
Fun fact, back in high school, I had a notebook where I would just come up with pickup lines and spend the lunch hour
Yeah.
just trying them,
Really?
see what works.
Listen. And
I had some good ones too.
that's it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Ew. So we're
You
gonna
got to do the honors.
I'm doing the honors?
Yes.
All right. All right. So I feel like we should
Wait, is this something I can catch on social media?
Yes,
Please,
catch
please.
it.
Okay, great.
Please.
Ready?
This is for you, Weezy.
I'm like, should I move the mic out the way?
No, you good?
Good? Okay.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
Allow me to pour for you.
Okay, thank you.
I am always of service of black women.
By the way, this is the first time we've done any bottle popping on the podcast. So
Yeah.
this is exclusive, all right?
That's
And there's
synonymous with me, I would say.
legit. When we first
Podcast I
met,
do, I'm like, yo, here you go.
and when me and Mac first met too, he literally was like, "Here, pop this bottle."
Yep.
And I was like, "Fine."
That was what, 3 weeks ago?
No, it was
Yeah.
3 weeks. That was
At the therapist link up.
3 weeks ago. I feel like it
What
was
was
like
it?
2 months ago.
Oh, 2 months? All right, listen.
You're busy. You're busy.
It's been a lot going on.
You're booked and busy, like you said. Oh, don't drop.
7-11. Sign the check.
Yes, and thank you, Wolf, for the cups. Appreciate
Thank you, King. Appreciate you. I love the crown.
Yes, our fabulous engineer in here. He's been lovely. All right, so we're gonna keep it going, right? So we talked about the red flags. What are some green flags? You know, green flags been trendy on social media
Right.
for the past like week or two. What are some green flags? How do you know this person is good for my mental health, and I should keep them around?
I'm trying to think of the ultimate green flag. I would say again like emotional intelligence, but
Okay.
we've talked about that, right? I would say someone that is aware of their mental. Someone that has done the work, that has knowledge of the work and what that looks like. So therefore, they're all more primed for a healthy relationship because they've addressed their baggages.
Right.
A lot of us go from relationship to relationships and never has taken the time to truly unpack, to truly self-reflect and ask what role did we play in all of our failed relationships.
Right.
The divorce rate for first marriages is 50%. Second marriages is 60%.
Wow.
Third marriages is up to 68%. All right, so it's not the partner, it's you.
That's crazy.
What is your contribution to the failed relationships? What work have you not done? What work are you avoiding?
Interesting. I would think with more experience as time is going on that it would go down, but that's an interesting statistic.
If you think about it, right, when you're dating someone, you see their social self.
Yeah.
Right, you see their best self. You go pick them up; they're already dressed up. They smell great. They open the car door. The conversations are going excellent.
Yep.
But as you get to know them, you also see their shadow self, right? The part of themselves that the world don't see, right? I don't want to say the bad version,
Yeah.
but the shadows
Yep.
of themselves.
He's talking about shadow work, y'all. I know
Right.
exactly what you're talking about.
So if you never experience that, you can't really tell whether or not this partner will be for you,
Right.
or you can deal with it. That's why when you get married after the I'm in love with you phase, you enter the I love you phase.
Yeah.
That's where you get to know who that person really is. You get to see their shadow self, the non-social self, their part of themselves that they hide.
Yeah.
You get to experience them, their whole being.
Yeah.
So therefore, your decision of whether or not to continue with them is based on evidence, based on on experience, as opposed to based on a feeling.
Right.
There's something else that we don't talk about much when it comes to love. Is the phase where you fall out of love.
You're enlightening me.
That is
Let's talk about
something
it.
that we don't talk about.
Falling out of love.
Yes, that's normal. That's the stage that you need to go through before getting to true love.
Okay.
True love is accepting your partner for who they are. When your brain is no longer playing tricks on you, where these chemicals are no longer being released to such a high degree.
Okay.
You would find people ending relationship and seeking other relationships because they're seeking that high.
Right.
That the I'm in love with you high.
Right.
Where the butterflies are present. Your brain, like you touch them, like, oh my God, your brain is just going crazy. You're just orgasmic toward them.
Yeah.
Right? But eventually that dies down.
Yeah.
And you actually get to see who they are. This pandemic forced a lot of couples to take a look and say, I actually don't like you.
Ooh, yeah.
I can't deal with you 24/7. Or, oh my God, I really don't know you. We have been roommates
Yeah, this whole
this
time.
whole time. On average, couples that have children only spend 10% of their time together. So, you know what I'm saying? In a
Yeah.
24-hour period, we're only spending 10 hours, 10% of our time together. That's not a lot. So now we're in a pandemic where we're home.
Right.
There's no walls to separate us,
Yep.
right? Now I gotta see you every day. I gotta talk to you every day. I gotta deal with you every day,
It's overwhelming.
and that's when
It's a lot.
we realize whether or not this relationship is going to work. For me, it was a breeze. I was hanging out with my best friend every
That's
day.
it.
It was great.
That's
We
it.
watched every Netflix show you could think of. You know what I'm
As y'all
saying?
should.
It was excellent.
As y'all should. We're not even gonna talk about me because we gonna start having
How
a
was
session.
your
I'm gonna start
pandemic?
breaking down.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was someone that I was in the beginning of the pandemic. We were
Dating
we were dating. We weren't
exclusively.
well. I
You
feel
were
like
under the assumption that you guys
Well-
were dating exclusively.
right. We putting it out there. It's the podcast. We're gonna be open about it. So I feel like throughout the pandemic, I learned a lot about this person, and now we are no longer. But I think it was very difficult. And I feel like if it wasn't for, I just feel like a lot of things happened that I feel like revealed so many things to me. And so it was just a thing where, I'm not a person that like, if something doesn't work out, I hate you now. But I think like I learned a lot about myself through that experience.
Yeah.
And it was really difficult. That's probably one of the most difficult like relationships that I was ever in. And I was like, you know what? We gonna hang it up for forever.
See-
At one point I was like, we gonna hang it up for forever. But I'm like, you know what? Nah, I'm too cute for that. So we gonna get the list ready. We gonna get the list ready.
I have so many questions, but
We're gonna talk off camera. I feel like
Okay.
I first of all, listeners, I've given you guys and those who are watching, I've given a lot. I've given a lot over those who are new. Go back and listen to some episodes. I feel like most of the time I am pretty open and vulnerable. But as far as dating, and I feel like that's like me personally, this topic is so like
taboo.
kind of taboo. I mean, I'm Caribbean. I feel like it within our friend group, like I'm in a group chat with my cousins and we talk about everything, right? But then like talking about things out loud in regards to like relationships and things that like mess up or don't work out or whatever can sometimes be difficult because it's like you don't want to be judged. You don't want to be, or at least me personally, like I don't want to, because I feel like most of the time, and then being in the counselor therapist position, people look to you for advice and they see you as like somebody who is well put together.
Yes.
So like they just automatically would think like, yeah, you would have it. Like, why would you have issues in this area? But I'm like, I've been single for a long time, y'all. And I think part of that too, I mean, there's other reasons, right? Aside from me just, I feel like needing to.
How would you rate your dating skills and knowledge from 1 to 10?
No, knowledge. I feel like I can definitely grow my knowledge. So I would say like 5 in knowledge. But
The dating world was created by men for men. Women were not given a space where they could be autonomous in this dating world.
right,
So what I would advise women to do is to relearn the game.
okay,
Increase your knowledge, increase your skills.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing is stop waiting to be chosen and
Right.
start being the chooser yourself. Every woman should be multi-dating.
hello,
Just because you go with a guy or you're having good conversation with a guy, that doesn't mean that you stop seeing other people.
right. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yes, and keyword is dating.
Right.
And what did men do in order to prevent that?
I'm sweating, y'all.
We have labels. we judge you guys, right? We call you all of these names to push you away from multi-dating while we're doing it ourselves.
Right.
And we're actually validated when we do it.
Oh, for sure, for sure, for sure.
So again, the dating world.
Patriarchal society, it still exists for sure. It'll probably exist until the end of time. But I mean,
And to me, like having a daughter has forced me to take a look at how my toxic masculinity offered me so many privileges. I will hold my daughter. I'm like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. You're so gorgeous. And after a while, I was like, why do I only speak of your beauty? I
Ooh.
never say you are so strong, you are so intelligent. I'm
Wow.
always whenever I'm describing you, I'm speaking to your physical characteristics.
Right.
And that led me to this takeaway that this patriarchal society has been created so women can try to meet the validation of men. But you will never get it because the goalpost is always moving.
True.
We're telling women, oh, go get your body done. Then we judge them for getting their
Their
body
body
done.
done, right?
We tell them we want long hair, European looking hair. Then we judge them for wearing wigs.
Right.
Like you will never
Yep.
meet the demands.
Yep.
So what I recommend is to accept who you are. Choose to portray yourself in terms of clothing, hairstyle, whatever.
Yes.
As long as you're comfortable and confident in who you are and how you are,
Yeah.
you're good to go.
Absolutely. I love that. And thank you for that. I know the women who are listening.
Thank my
and
daughter.
watching. Yeah. Right. So do you feel like having a daughter changed your outlook in that
Bruh.
area, like big time?
Bruh.
I hear that often. That
Bruh.
men who have daughters, they're like, you know
Bruh.
what? They just have a transformation of mind.
That's why most men say, I want a son. Because it doesn't require a different version of us. We can be our toxic self,
Right.
our privileged self with our son because that's what's expected. It's easy. I'm going to just say, don't do this, don't do that, or you should be doing this and all that. But
Yeah.
with a girl, now you got to look at yourself. You got to look at the world differently.
Yeah.
Like I'm paying attention to everything. Quick story, right?
Yeah.
My wife bought her panties, bought my daughter panties
Oh,
because we're potty training her.
okay.
I was not okay with that. Too fast, too quick.
Yeah.
Too fast, too quick. I felt like she didn't prepare me enough
Right.
for that transition.
Right.
So I walk home. What is this? Oh, yeah, she's wearing panties now. Took a second. I walked outside. I did some briefing
Woosah, yeah.
exercises.
Good.
And I addressed my toxic masculinity.
Proud of you.
And my understanding of what panties mean. Right? And was able to say, you know what, that's developmentally appropriate.
Right.
That's normal.
Right.
But again, that's part of the unlearning and the relearning. And
Yeah.
I know people are going to kill me for that, and that's okay. I'm not perfect. I'm always learning.
Yeah.
I'm always striving to be better. When I got a daughter,
Yeah.
I called all of my female friends and I asked, how have I made you uncomfortable in life? What have been your experiences with other males
Wow.
or other women? So that I can have this knowledge to ensure that I am raising a girl
Yeah.
that is protected, that feels love, and that I'm not continuing the cycle of trauma.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you.
I love that. That's commendable. I don't know if I don't know if most men or a lot of men do that, but I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Okay. So
You sweating.
I know. I told you once I start drinking, that's why I'm like, let me relax. As soon as I start sipping, my pores literally open up.
Yeah.
Wolf, I don't appreciate you laughing at this.
Welcome to your Mental Matters podcast.
Right. And then I was in the hot seat for 2 seconds and then it got hot for real.
Got you.
So that's really what it was too. All right. So now we touched on dating a little bit. So we're gonna get into dating, because there's a lot of single ladies out here who are in this very, very crazy, volatile dating pool. You don't know what to expect.
It's that bad?
It's bad, y'all. I'm like, people who are in relationships or married, I really look up to them so much, or just, I'd be honored to be in their presence. I'd be
How old
like,
are you?
I am. Ooh, that's a lot.
Okay.
We going. You know what? I'll tell you off camera because I'm in my 20s though. I'm in my
Okay,
20s.
okay.
I'm in my mid 20s. We're
Okay.
gonna say the mid 20s.
So here would be my advice to you. You cannot date a man your age or within your age group. One, you are a therapist, so your knowledge and your maturity is higher than most. Two, you are a woman, so your maturity is already supersedes those of males that's around your age group.
Yeah.
And as a therapist, you have a budding career,
Yeah.
right? So your finances may be a trigger for males who are not up there or have started their career to that degree.
Yeah.
So my advice to you is that you got to date older.
Yeah.
But keep in mind that may come at some baggages that you might be open to. Children,
No, that's out.
divorce, and these type
No
of
offense.
things.
No
But
offense.
if those are non-starters for you, then you are stuck within the relationship that you just had. Immaturity, toxicity, inability to be emotionally available.
Yeah.
And you're just wasting your time.
Yeah. Yeah.
We older men, we are the catch.
I'm definitely, I feel like I am into older guys, but just no kids. Whatever baggage you
Good
do
luck
come,
with that.
whatever baggage you do come with, just it can't be kids because
Good
I
lu-
can't deal with baby mothers. I'm sorry.
It doesn't
Respectfully.
need to be trauma there.
Respectfully, yeah. I mean, we don't know what the future holds, but that's just what my deal breaker is for now. That's one of them.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So
I would say to see that as a yellow flag and not a red flag.
okay.
Just move with caution, assess, see whether or not that's something that you can deal with before you say, hell no.
Yeah. And this is coming from a couples therapist. So I'm taking this advice to heart for real.
I got you.
All right. So
We out here.
okay. All right. So just a couple more questions we got for you. And yeah. So boundaries in dating. Can you
Ooh.
recommend some effective ways to set boundaries in dating?
I'm going to take this another route.
Okay.
It's not about setting the boundaries, but it's about setting it in a way that continues to keep the relationship going or the dating phase going, as opposed to shutting the door and seizing all type of contacts.
Right.
Example, I'll ask you because I'm sure you have dealt with that, and I love asking this question to women, especially Black women.
I'm here for it.
Let's say we are dating, right? 2 dates.
Okay.
It's 8 o'clock, and I text you and you say, I'm about to take a shower.
I say that to you?
Yes.
Okay.
You already know what my reply is going to be. Oh, would love to take a shower with you.
Oh my God.
Wish I was in there with you.
Oh God.
How do you respond to that? How do you set boundaries
Ooh.
with your answer,
That's a good.
but still maintain your sexiness and my attraction to you without basically shutting the door on the relationship?
I like that. Are you asking me for
Oh,
an answer?
yes, 100%.
Oh God, my glasses fell off. It's fine. We leave it. That's how you know.
Bloopers.
I'm flustered. No, I mean, I feel like in reality, how I would respond to that is probably just saying like LOL. Because literally, I'm going to laugh.
I'm
And
sorry, LOL.
I say LOL because I feel like there's kind
I'm
of,
expecting a text after the LOL.
That's what I'm saying. And
That
when
was
you-
not a complete sentence.
but that's what I'm saying. Okay, I feel like in my head, if you say LOL, but obviously that's not setting a clear boundary. We're working on this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I feel like for me in my head, if I say LOL and basically don't feed the comment, my mindset is like he'll just get it that I'm not into it.
Good point. Good point.
But I don't know. What do you think about that?
I just love how women expect men to get a message that they never verbalized. Tomorrow again, I text you and you say, I'm about to take a shower. And I
Oh
say,
my God.
oh yeah? 2 showers in 2 days? Can I jump in with you? You're going to say LOL again?
Nah, I'm gonna be like, nah, you good.
Now you good.
I'm gonna be like, you said this already yesterday, and I
You
probably
didn't
would.
answer me.
Oh, I would be like, I thought you understood.
Understood what? You didn't say anything.
Right. It would be awkward. But I would then I probably would say, all right, being that this is I feel like it's gonna become repetitive, then I would address it. So I think I probably
Address it.
no, you can't.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's the complete sentence?
No, you can't. And then maybe what would be the response after that? If I say, nah, you good, or no, you can't.
I'll say, okay. And then my desire for you could also drop.
Oh, true. All right, so no.
You're texting. You're not calling.
Okay,
I
so it
can
would
hear
be
your voice.
okay. So it would be nah. We are not at that level yet.
Better.
Okay.
Better.
Yeah.
Now, I always tell women to lean into their femininity, right? Because that's what differentiates you guys from us,
Yeah.
right? How do you maintain your seductive self, even though you're setting boundaries? How about, you know what? That sounds really fun. We're just not there yet, but if we keep going the way that we are, I promise to make it the best shower you ever had.
Oh, y'all heard that?
Did
That
I
was
set a
fire.
boundary?
That was fire.
Did I set a boundary?
Did you set a boundary? Yeah, you did. You did.
Did I still maintain he or she's desire toward me?
Yeah.
And I also showed that I am a sexual being as well. I am a
Yes.
seductive being as well.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't take it personal. I didn't see it as a personal attack against me.
Yeah.
I set the boundary, but did it in a way that's conducive to my desire within you and your desire towards me.
Yeah.
I always tell people, like, you got to be careful on how you talk to men and how you talk to women as well.
Yeah.
You want to use certain trigger words to evoke the feelings that you are seeking to reinforce their behavior.
Yeah.
When you talking to men, it's okay to say, "Oh, they opened your door." It's very sexy when you open my door. Promise you, he'll open every door for you till the end of times.
I am awkward, so I can't even see myself saying that. But that's fire that you, because I'm like, there are probably some women who can really, I'm so like, I can be a little bit, I'm kind of shy.
That's okay.
And so I don't see myself saying that. But I do agree. I feel like I'm a tomboy by nature. So I feel like naturally I can come off like a guy is like my homie.
You could give them a hug,
Oh, for sure.
right?
That works. I hug all day.
Thank you for opening up the door for me. It's so hot when you tell me exactly how you feel. I like that.
Oh, okay.
That allows me to really understand you. That's how we reinforce the behaviors that we want. Most men, when they open up, when they're being vulnerable, that's usually weaponized against them.
Got
So
you.
by providing that reinforcement, right?
Yes.
On a behavioral standpoint, that positive reinforcement keeps that behavior going.
Yeah.
What's the number one thing you should look for in a partner? The number one thing.
The number one thing.
Wolf, the number one thing you should look for in a partner today.
I feel like did you mention it already?
No, because I just thought of it. I'm like, that's fire.
The number one thing.
Transparency.
That sounds good. I would say that's definitely a top 5.
The number one thing
What about you?
in a partner. Number
Yeah.
one thing. I'm bad at this. You can tell, can't you? Wolf, don't laugh.
Are you a basketball fan?
I love basketball. Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Who made him great? Who helped him in his greatness?
His coach.
Because Michael Jordan was
Short.
coachable. Coachable.
Oh.
Right? So Phil, being the coach, will devise a plan. Hey, here's what I need you to do so we can win this game. And your partner that you're dating, how coachable are they? I don't like flowers. I like pastries. Are they able to adapt that knowledge so next time they're bringing you something, they bring you pastries because they
Got you.
know that's exactly what you like.
Love that.
I don't like the way you're talking to me right now. I would prefer if you spoke to me using those words or with this tone.
Right.
Are they able to adapt and be coached? You don't want someone that knows everything.
Yeah.
Because that's impossible, right?
Yeah.
That does not exist. You just want someone that is willing to be coached and can be coached,
Yeah.
and vice versa.
Right.
I don't like this, but I like that.
Yeah.
I always say, like, if you can't speak up about these things, how are you going to speak up in the bedroom then? Right? When they're just not doing the things that you like.
You.
Right? How are you going to have the strength to say, I prefer this? You should seek someone that is coachable.
Absolutely. I love that.
Thank you.
Can you pass me my shades for me? I was gonna try to reach it, but I was like, let me not even try. Thank you. But I love that. I feel like that is necessary. You know what? I feel like that's important because a lot of times what it be is like pride. Sometimes pride gets in the way of things and
Ego,
ego,
trauma,
trauma.
a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So I love that. Be coachable. Affirm your partner. Let him know that the things that he is doing, or vice versa, the things that she is doing as well. Or is that more of a thing that men need to be for them to hear from women that what you're doing is
Yeah.
great.
I would say that most men's love language is physical touch, acts of service. I would say third is around words of affirmation, but just in general, just a rule of thumbs, like we got to know how to talk to men and what the trigger terms are for the trigger words are for men.
Got you. Okay. Love that. And as a couples therapist,
Yes.
I feel like we were leaning in it in one of your last comments there. As a couples therapist, are you able to differentiate between love or lust? And
Ooh.
if so,
Ooh.
can you break it down for us?
Ooh.
Can you let us know how can a woman know? Because I feel like usually women kind of may be confused. Like is this just I don't know if men think that way. You can clarify for me if men also think like
It
this
starts
should-
with lust.
Okay, let's get into it.
I would say the three L's to a relationship is lust. You must desire your partner. You must want to be with them. Like, you must be able to like them, spend time with them, enjoy their company. And love, which is accepting them for who they are.
Yeah.
So the first phase of getting into true love is lust,
Yeah.
right? I am attracted to you because I am lusting over you. Something about you is sexy to me.
Yeah.
Something about you is attractive to me. So that's lust. Say love at first sight. There's no such thing. It's lust at first sight, right? We tend to be attracted to who's familiar to us.
You're right.
A lot of times we're dating the same people, they just look different. I would say when a person say it was love at first sight or the vibe was right or I just knew, no, the sexual tension was high, the sexual attraction was high, the lust was high,
Right.
because when I saw you, when I spoke to you, I felt home. I felt in my comfort zone because I've dated you already. If it was my first time meeting you, something about you is familiar. You are familiar to me. So I'm going to attach myself to you because that's what I know. Right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times when you find yourself just dating the wrong kind of person over and over and over again, what you need to do is to start making the unfamiliar familiar to you.
Yeah.
It's getting outside of that circle and going elsewhere and getting healthy individuals to become familiar to you so you could desire them more.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. So,
And also like lust. Sorry. Lust is a lifetime process. It also dies down. It goes through ebbs and flows. Lust is how it starts. Like when you have a crush, it's lust. The first phase is lust or a crush,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then the I'm in love with you. Then fall out of love, and then true love.
Yeah.
That's the whole process of true love.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So, can a relationship be based solely on lust? No.
The
right?
lust will die down,
Okay.
right? But
So,
does a relationship need lust?
yeah.
100%.
Right.
No matter how long you've been in this relationship, do not lose your sexiness. Do not lose your
Hello?
identity,
Hello.
right?
Yeah.
Just because we've been together for 10 years doesn't mean I can stop. I can start slacking off, not
Right.
getting dressed up for you, not caring how I look, not working out no more,
Right.
not doing the things that I loved, right?
Right.
My projects, right? Not just losing my identity and just allowing the relationship becoming who I am.
Right. Absolutely. I love that.
One of the best way to create lust for any long-term relationship is to create space between both partners. When you're always attached, there's no desire, there's no fire. But as you create space between the two of you, you're doing the things that you like. So I get to see you in a different eye, in a different aspect. And I'm doing the things that I enjoy.
Yeah.
Or I'm missing you.
Yes.
That's how the desire and the lust is then regenerated in the relationship.
Hello. Coming straight from a couples therapist, y'all. Y'all listening? Because I feel
Free 99.
I believe everything he's saying, and I'm taking mental notes, and we gonna talk after. So I hope you guys are listening because yeah, I feel like space is so important. Me, I'm definitely a person that needs space. We can't be all up on each other all the time, you know?
Especially as a therapist. If I had a tough session and I come home, don't want to be
I
bothered.
don't even want to talk.
Yeah, I've been talking all day. I've been listening to people all day. I
Right.
just want to turn off my mind and scroll for no reason.
Right.
I'll just go and hug my daughter and lay on her, and
Aw.
she'll rub my head and scratch my back. Oh my God, I feel so loved right now.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
That is so sweet. All right. So we getting down to the wire, down to the wire. Okay. This is for you.
Okay.
As a therapist.
As a therapist,
Yes. What is one of the most common reasons that you've noticed couples seek counseling?
so there's a lot of presenting issues, but usually what we don't see as to why couples come to therapy is their inability to communicate. Because if you can communicate, if I can express how I feel and what I need in a constructive manner, and it's heard accordingly and it's processed accordingly, then it doesn't matter what the presenting issue is. If we can talk about it, we can solve it.
Right.
It's when we can't communicate about anything, right? Like, for example, I want to spend more time with you, but instead, I'm just saying you're selfish or you don't care about me, or I'm not a priority to you. This relationship is not a priority to you. When basically all I'm saying is that I miss you. I miss spending time with you. I miss our friendship. I miss my partner. I miss my best friend.
Yeah.
Right? So if I can say that, hey, lately I've been feeling invisible. I know that you've picked up extra hours at work.
Yep.
And I understand that it's for the benefit of the family. But it's been very difficult when I don't get to see you as much, when I don't get to spend time with my best friend. I
Right.
miss you. I'm lonely.
Yep.
So can we drop off the kids to grandma this weekend and we can just stay in bed and watch Netflix?
Aw.
I'll order us something to eat and we can just stay in bed just for one day. That would make me feel so loved and so appreciated. Versus, you don't care about me. You don't care about us. It's always about you. You're so selfish.
Right.
We're not a priority to you. You're never home. I'm saying the same feelings. I just don't know how to communicate it.
Right.
So with my couples, by session 3, we get into communication skills.
Love it.
And you can see the shift. You get to see the fight, right? Where, no, I don't want to validate you.
Yeah.
I don't want to empathize with you. I just want to argue and tell you why you're wrong and I'm right. But here I am. You can't do that. Hey, put your gun down.
Right.
Watch your facial expressions because they're communicating your disfaction. Right now, you are here to validate.
Right.
Withhold your own judgment. And you see them tensed up. So I'm like, oh my God, I wish. And then afterwards, like, did you feel understood? You know what? Yes. When was the last time you felt like that? I can't even remember. And that's how you know. That's how you figure it out.
Love it. Love it. Wow.
I love my job. I could do this all day.
Yeah. You see how passionate he
I
is?
could do this,
This is how
all day.
we should love our jobs the way that you do. I enjoy my job as well.
Yeah.
But I could imagine, like, sometimes I've imagined myself as a couples therapist or even tapping into that realm, and I don't know if I would be able to do it.
Oh, you would. It's
I
fine.
feel like it's a special type of niche for certain people.
Agreed.
You have to
Agreed.
have a certain temperament. You have to, I feel like, at least this is my opinion. I don't know if that's fact, but
Yeah.
I feel like having a certain type of temperament and just being able to, it's a skill. So I think this is amazing
Yeah.
that you do it.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yes. And let's talk infidelity real quick.
Ooh.
Right? Because I feel like this is a big one for most Most people,
That
right?
has
In relation.
become my most requested topic.
Yeah.
I think in this month alone, I've done 3 podcasts on infidelity.
Wow. Okay.
70% of my couples are for a fair recovery.
Okay. So the question: why do people cheat?
Ooh, you want the truth?
The
I'll
truth
ask
and
you
nothing but
first.
the truth.
I'll ask you first. Why do you think? Have you ever cheated?
I've never cheated. Never. Because this question has come up different times in my life, and I really had to sit down and recount. And I was like, no, no,
Okay. Have you ever been cheated on?
I've been cheated on.
Okay. Why?
Honestly, I think I was cheated on because I wasn't.
Before you answer, I'll tell you this has nothing to do with sex.
Oh, all right. So that was gonna be. It was gonna be my. That was kind of somewhat was gonna be my answer. My answer was gonna be around the sexual aspect.
Okay. Now that we've removed that.
And okay, removing that, I think another reason is because of insecurity on the men's part.
I expect you to say that.
Okay,
Because it's always easier.
to put it on someone else.
Correct. Now I'm going to ask you again. What was your role
Oh,
into the infidelity? What need of theirs were you not meeting?
what need wasn't I meeting? Maybe
Did you ever ask them? Why did they cheat?
nah, because it was over
Okay.
as soon as it was. They basically kind of. All right, I'm gonna do the more recent one. They,
Happened more than once.
yeah, I'm gonna say
No, you don't-
twice.
Okay,
For
cool.
solid. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy.
Gotcha.
But the ones that are memorable in my mind, I'm gonna say 2 times.
Okay.
Right? And
The
so
latest one.
the most recent, like they didn't say that I did anything wrong. Like I actually was described as being quote unquote perfect. And so that's what made me feel like it's either an excuse that they're just saying that to make
Trying to protect your feelings.
to make me feel better, or they really feel that way. Because sometimes I feel like if you feel like something's too good to be true, or if you feel like
Self-sabotage.
yeah, like you just purposely mess it up because you feel like you maybe don't deserve it, or you feel like you can't meet some sort of like imaginary expectation that you feel like is the other person is setting, when really I'm just being me and you are.
So how about the opposite, right?
Tell me.
70% of individuals that cheat do so due to an emotional need not being met in the relationship.
Really?
Only 30% of couples would actually cheat due to a sexual need. It always starts. Usually, most of the time, 70% of the time, it starts with an emotional need. With that being said, another question for you.
Okay.
Who is more likely to cheat, men or women?
I mean, if 70% has to do with the emotional aspect, then I would think women, because
Men are
men.
very emotional.
But I feel like men don't always have the emotional competence or the
To
emotional.
communicate it,
Yeah, the
to
emotional.
tell you what
right.
they need.
Right.
So they go find it elsewhere. So, stats, right? Within a marriage, a woman will stray within 2 to 4 years, while with a man, it will take about 6 to 8 years
What?
before they cheat. However,
In a marriage?
yes.
Interesting.
However, 20% of men have reported that they engage in infidelity, while 10% of women. The number for women has increased since they became part of the workforce. More access,
Okay.
right?
Let me put my cup down.
So, for your question,
Hot.
usually it starts with an emotional need not being met. And a lot of times for the males, it's the fact that when they voice their emotions and how they were feeling.
They feel unheard.
Correct. It was not responded to correctly. It was that you're a man, you can't cry, or you can't feel like that, or what are you gonna do about it?
But what if you've never done that
Okay, how about this?
to a man?
Your career is going excellent. You have a lot of work that you start no longer paying as much attention as you used to do to your partner. And you start fighting, and then you start hiding your dissatisfaction from each other. Shirley Glass, who passed away not too long ago, she's a psychologist.
Okay.
She has a book called Not Just Friends. She describes a healthy relationship as two partners being in a house together, surrounded by walls, with a window and a door to the world. Now, when the bit of connections are not being responded to, like I'm trying to talk to you and get you to notice me and spend time with you, or whatever the case may be, or even be intimate, but you're not responding to that positively. The walls that surrounded the relationship now start to build between us,
Okay.
right? Because every time I voice how I feel, we fight. So now,
Okay.
in an attempt to preserve the relationship, I'm gonna keep my dissatisfaction to myself.
Interesting.
I'm no longer going to trust you to meet my needs. So
Interesting.
I'm either going to minimize my need or push them to the side
Okay.
when it comes to the relationship.
Right.
So therefore, the walls between us gets bigger. We're more separated,
Yeah.
right? But the window to the world and the door to the world starts to open up, becomes larger, because my needs are not being met in the relationship. There's a wall between us. We're not connecting. We're not in sync. We're
Yeah.
not attuning, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm more prime for a relationship with others, because it's human nature that if I have those needs, they need to get met.
Okay.
So I meet someone at the cafe, small convo. Now I'm like, oh, that was a great convo. Now I start going there more often because I'm seeking conversation. Because at home I'm not getting that.
Interesting.
You're too busy. We're not paying attention to each other. We're not really talking, and we're hiding our dissatisfaction from each other. So coffee becomes now we're exchanging phone numbers and we're talking. But I tell you that I'm married and you're married, right?
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with our relationship because it's a friendship.
Right.
We both know that we're not seeking anything else.
Okay.
Then we start finding things we have in common. Oh, the J. Cole is coming. You love J. Cole. I love J. Cole. My partner's working too much. More than likely, they're not going to want to go. So it's just two friends going to a concert. Now we're having fun. Now we're attaching. Now we're drinking. We're spending time together. Now I start to badmouth my partner to you. She's this, he's that. They're not paying attention to us. Now you become my confidant, and my partner becomes the enemy. So I'm creating distrust between me and my partner while I'm strengthening the trust and attachment between myself and you,
Right.
right? So now you are the shoulder that I have for support. You deserve better. You don't got to deal with this. I'm here for you. Now start to picture my life with you. If I was with you, I wouldn't be having these issues. I would be happier. Right? I would be happier. Me and you can be sexual, and I'm thinking of her. Right? Because my life would be happier. I start to fantasize more about you. Now I start looking, I wonder what my life would be with you, and vice versa. And eventually one of us cross the line. 10% of affairs last one day. The other 10% lasts about a month. 40% will last 2 or more years.
Yo. This is preposterous.
Real talk.
This is preposterous. I'm stressed out. I'm sweating over here.
2/3 of men don't know that their women are having an affair. But a woman's intuition, they're right 85% of the time.
Oh yeah.
So if a woman think a man is having an affair 85% of the time, they are right. Now, what does that tell you about cheating? Does that make you frame your past experiences differently? Part of healing through through an infidelity, right, and rebuilding the relationship is for both partners to take accountability. To hear say, you know what, you're right. I haven't been paying attention to you. I haven't been spending time with you. I haven't been meeting your needs. I've been overwhelmed. I've been overworked. Or we haven't been communicating properly. Or you have not communicated accordingly to me. But I also haven't checked in to see how you're doing and how you are feeling. Once we have that, then we can start doing the work. Because when we think of cheaters, so they're evil. They are the worst kind of people on earth.
Listen.
But in reality, they're just trying to get that emotional need met.
Yeah. Wow. I'm triggered. Mac over here got me triggered. I'm like, gosh, we're not going to be crying on this couch today. And we got drinks. Listen. All right. I think that you dropped a lot of knowledge. I feel like I just learned a lot too about, I guess, the reasoning behind it. Because I think for women, that's always something that's a question mark. Because women, of course, automatically go to like, that's why when you ask,
Because of sex, or when not having enough sex.
yeah, I feel like, well, at least me as a person, I before I point the finger at anyone else, I do look at myself. Like I'm probably my harshest critic. So I feel like, I guess in my head, I'm like, probably most women are like that. But no, me, speaking for myself, I'm like that for sure. So I think like thinking about, okay, what could I have done better? Or like, where did I mess up at? Like, what caused this, right? But then it's like, I think when, in my head, I'm like, if you do that, if you take so much responsibility, because I feel like a person's actions has to do with them. At least the way that I,
Or in response to you.
right. Or it could be in response to you, right? And so I feel like, of course, especially when we're talking about relationship and couples, it's a two-way street. So it involves two people. So I think it can be hard, but I think like now hearing this, it is enlightening and it does kind of like, make things a little bit more clear
Yes.
and understandable.
Yeah, and men want sex 6 times more than women, right?
Yeah.
A man just needs to be told, let's have sex, while a woman needs their emotional state as well, right? For men, they need sex to feel emotionally connected, while a woman needs emotional connection before having sex.
Yeah.
And what most men need to realize is that foreplay is a 24-hour process. So throughout the day, you need to win her over. You need to sweet talk her. You need to engage in foreplay. It might be doing groceries. It might be cleaning the house. It might be helping with the kids more, etc. Yeah, just in general, like a man's biology is more primed for sex than a woman.
Right.
A woman will orgasm 73% of the time while engaged in solo masturbation. Right? So really, you don't need a man. Right? So women can feel like I can meet my needs myself. But again, like when it ties back to cheating, it's not always rooted in sex.
Okay.
It's rooted in our inability to connect and see what we are in need of from one another. That's it.
So I guess there's a question that's coming up now. So if a man is not emotionally intelligent, right? Would he even know what it is that he is lacking or that he isn't receiving to be able to, he wouldn't, right?
He might know, but he might not be able to voice it.
Okay.
Right. So a part of it is actually communicating what you're in need of in a way that your partner can understand. Right. I would have men say, but I did tell you. And we'll replay the conversation like, yeah, that was me telling you. That's not what that sounded like
Right. You didn't tell me. I had no idea.
Right. So it's, again, communication skills is one of the foundational skill
Yeah.
of any healthy relationship.
Absolutely. That's great.
Yeah, man.
I'm learning a lot, y'all. Are
Big
y'all
things, big
learning? Because
things.
I know my head is kind of blown right now. Okay. And I think you touched on it briefly about how people can heal who have been cheated on and like,
It's a 3-step process.
yes, what are the steps that they need to take?
So atonement, right, which is the first step. That's where you get to ask all of your questions to the partner that that cheated. Why, how, when, not where. You could ask where. Yes, where. Right. But you want to stay away from the questions that's going to perpetuate the trauma. How was it? Was it better? Was it tighter? Was it bigger? Right? Because these fine details
Oh God.
only makes the trauma worse.
Right.
Right? I can understand. Did you have sex in our car, in our home, in our bed? How? When did you have the time? When did you guys talk? Where did you guys meet? When did you guys have sex? But not the fine, unnecessary details.
Right.
So, but your partner has to be willing to be completely honest. A lot of times they tend not to tell the truth, and you find yourself piecing things together. Then two months later, you find out something else, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't help.
Right.
Be honest, answer all of the questions, right? And then part one is also looking at yourself and asking, what is my role in this? What accountability do I take? Once we reach those two things, we move to step two.
Yeah.
Step two is me taking a closer look at your relationships.
Okay.
Why did the infidelity happen, and how do we solve that? Communication skills, conflict management, build of connections, friendship, passion, romance, all of these things. We start identifying them and working on them. Then step three is we continue to work on those skills.
Right.
Right. Now we're recreating a better relationship, a stronger relationship. We're attachment.
Yes.
Right. So it's about how can we get back into a healthy space. Spending more time together, having more adventure, having more conversation, being more vulnerable.
Right.
So we can reconnect. And then putting the boundaries needed to safeguard the relationship.
Got
So
it.
removing the walls between us, putting it now around the relationship, and closing the window and the door that was open to the world.
To the outside world.
Yeah, man.
That's what y'all be doing. Y'all be leaving the window cracked a little bit for them old joints and them little side pieces. Y'all
Yes.
better lock it up.
Once you start fantasizing about someone else, you have started to cheat.
Yikes.
That's a betrayal.
Yikes.
And infidelity is not the only betrayal that you can commit in a relationship. There's
Hello.
many more.
What's another one? Just to give the people some insight.
Conditional commitment. I'll be committed to you as long as you do this, that, or that.
All right.
Emotional affairs.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's about 10.
Those were
10
good. Those two were
big
solid.
ones, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I feel like you kind of touched on this one. Just some tips and tricks. We could leave the people with some tips and tricks. People who are dating, people who are in relationship,
Ooh, okay.
to keep a relationship healthy.
Got you. On average, couples argue about the same thing 85% of the time.
Okay.
So beware of that. You're going to end up having the same conversations over and over again. In reality, you can only solve 31% of your differences. The remaining 69% is never meant to be solved. It's meant to be managed. If I like to socialize and you don't,
Yeah.
we'll never solve that. If you're a cat person and I'm a dog person, we'll never solve that.
Right.
We just need to learn how to manage these things.
Yeah.
So ask yourself, what do we need to solve, and what do we need to manage? And that will make your relationship a lot easier.
Right.
In the dating aspect, I want you to multi-date. Date as many people as possible. Now that you're single, you should be dating at least 10 guys.
Okay.
And eventually you bring it down to 8, then 6, then 5, then 3, then 2. By the time you choose the person you want to be with, they are the better person for you.
Hello. This is advice from a couples therapist.
Yes, you want
I
to
have
make sure
permission.
that you are the chooser and not waiting to be chosen.
Hello.
And when you're setting boundaries, you want to do so with flair, with flexibility, and within the attraction.
Got it.
That's it.
Perfect. Oh my God. This was, first of all, thank you so much. I feel like you dropped a lot of gems, and there's so much, I feel like, information here that people could walk away from knowing, insight. I received some.
Thank
so Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It was
No.
a pleasure to be back here again.
Yes. And I appreciate you. And yeah, I guess just let the people know where they could find you, where they could follow you. Do you have anything coming up? Do you
Oh,
have anything
yes,
that
yes,
you want
yes.
people to know before we wrap up?
Yes. You can find me on Instagram as talk to Mac underscore therapist, talk TALK to the number two Mac MAC. On my website, it is therapy is for everyone.org. If you are in New York and you're looking for couples therapy, I now offer marathon sessions where I meet with for couples for 6 to 10 hours, and we get straight to the work.
Wow.
If you want change in your relationship ASAP, that's the route to go. Apart from that, I am fully announcing my relationship card deck worth about 3 years of therapy.
Hello.
That is focused on the uncomfortable but necessary conversations that every couple needs to have repeatedly.
Yeah.
This is not to be played with friends. This is not to be played as a group. This is not to be played at the barbecue.
Yeah.
This is, we're thinking of the next steps in our relationship. Let's check in and see how we are really doing.
Yeah.
We're about to get married, but we don't have time for premarital therapy. Let's do this.
Yeah.
We're about to move in, right? Or it's been a while. Let's just check in and see what the health of our relationship is.
Yep.
So this card deck is based on the 5 things that couples tend to argue the most about. It's all about creating structured conversations,
Yeah.
so you can be heard and be seen and be validated. So this way you're always connected,
Yep.
and attuned, and you can affair proof your relationship.
Absolutely.
I am also dropping soon the workbook.
Okay.
Becoming a masterful couple, the uncomfortable but necessary conversations every couple needs to have repeatedly. That should be dropping around Valentine's Day if everything goes to plan.
You better go ahead, Valentine's Day.
Yeah, man.
I love it.
And that is all. It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Wait, you didn't have an announcement for us?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The Therapist holiday link up happening December 11th in Harlem, New York.
Hello.
We got an amazing space. The owner reached out to us personally and wanted to support therapists in the community.
I love it.
Free bar.
Open
I
bar?
repeat, open bar. Unlimited bar. Professional photographer.
Oh, I'll be there.
Haitian black rice, jerk chicken.
Ooh.
Come on, man. It's going to be amazing.
Banan?
Oh, ou déjà comme ça. I'm excited. I am looking forward to seeing everyone. The response was amazing.
Yes.
Based on the first one.
Absolutely. I was at the first one and it was an amazing,
Yeah.
The energy was amazing. I met so many amazing people that I'm still in contact with to this day. So
Yeah, they don't stop emailing me. So yes, I look forward to that. And we have a few workshops dropping around the new year for Valentine's Day. I have this big couples workshop that I am planning.
yeah,
That's gonna rock New York City. So we shall see.
that's it, y'all. Your Mental Matters podcast. Follow him on everything. Subscribe, like, comment, share with a friend. You know, all of the stuff. And thank you again.
Thank you.
We're out.